It is now a week since Israel declared war on Hamas after an unprecedented ground, air and sea assault by the militants over the weekend. The death toll continues to mount on both sides. Over 1,300 Israelis and over 1,500 Palestinians have lost their lives so far. The humanitarian crisis is mounting too, and countries have now swung into diplomatic action to avoid a spillover. In the latest, Hamas says at least 13 hostages held in North Gaza have been killed in Israeli airstrikes in the last 24 hours. These hostages included Israeli as well as foreign nationals, as per the militant group. U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd has arrived in Israel. Austin will meet officials including Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, as well as Israel's Defense Minister Yoav Gallant, during his visit, which aims to show solidarity with Israel. Israel has released footage of missile strikes in Gaza. It claims that fighter jets struck 750 targets in Gaza overnight, which included residences of senior Hamas officials, tunnels, command centers, and warehouses. Israel has called for the relocation of 1.1 million Palestinians in Gaza to the enclave's south within the next 24 hours. Palestinians fear it could be a precursor to a planned Israeli ground offensive following a deadly Hamas militant attack. The UN has urged Israel to call off the Gaza evacuation order, while Hamas has rejected the order. Tensions are also mounting on the Israel-Lebanon border. Israeli troops, tanks and vehicles were deployed and on standby along the border. Meanwhile, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken is now in Jordan after his Israel visit. He has met with Jordan's King Abdullah in Amman and will also meet with Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas. His visit aims to engage regional partners on efforts to help prevent the conflict from spreading. He is also expected to visit Qatar, Saudi Arabia, UAE, and Egypt. During his Israel visit, Blinken met with Prime Minister Netanyahu. He vowed a robust support for Israel, as he said the country will never fight alone, as U.S. will always be on its side. The Israeli Prime Minister showed Blinken the horrific images of infant victims who were murdered and burned by Hamas. Those images were shared by Netanyahu on social media platform X. As the West ramps up its diplomatic efforts in the region, Iran has called on Islamic and Arab countries to form a united front against Israel. Iran's President Ebrahim Raisi accused Israel of a genocide. Tehran has also reportedly offered to host an emergency meeting of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation. Meanwhile, Iran's foreign minister has warned that if Israel's bombardment of Gaza continues, the war may open on other fronts, which is seen as an apparent reference to the Lebanese group Hezbollah. Now, Human Rights Watch accuses Israel of using white phosphorus munitions in its military operations in Gaza and Lebanon. The use of such weapons puts civilians at risk of serious and long-term injury. Gaza sees continues. It saw another overnight without electricity, and Israel has also blocked fuel and food to Gaza. Israel says the seizure will remain in place until Hamas release some 150 hostages taken after Saturday's assault. The Red Cross says that Gaza hospitals risk turning into morgues. The Israeli army has said it has bombarded the Gaza Strip with approximately 6,000 bombs containing 4,000 tons of explosives since Saturday, when it began the strikes. Now, amid the raging war, many countries have also ramped up efforts to rescue their citizens. India first charter flight under Operation Ajay, carrying 212 citizens from war-torn Israel, landed in New Delhi this morning. More than 200 Nepali nationals who evacuated from Israel also returned home today. while the flight with A377 French nationals evacuated from Israel landed in Paris.